What's up, everybody? I'm sitting in my bedroom. I decided to, hey, I'm going to put up a YouTube video. I've been posting on a couple new forums and Facebook pages, and people have been asking me, how did I come about the business I am? How did I come about, and how can they do what I do? Well, first off, you can't do what I do. You got to do what you do. And that's not being sarcastic. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but there's a way to get there. And I'm going to talk about how I got there, what I did. But first off, let me tell you, if you haven't seen my intro video, I own a very unique store in Ohio. I'm a thrift store. I'm a video game store, and I'm a computer repair and video game console repair shop. So I have three things tied into one shop that really draws people in. My wife basically takes care of the thrift store part of it. I take care of the video game part of it. I take care of the computer repair and the video game console repair part of it, and all electronics really. But so I'm getting a lot of questions on these forums and these Facebook pages of, man, you do kind of do it all. How many employees do you have? There is 2. My wife and I. Then we have a helper, a friend of ours that comes, helps us out, and she also sells stuff out of our shop and whatnot. Kind of a trade-off. And then we got my son that is 13, and I have my daughter is 5, and they both help as much as they can, but it's totally family owned. But I've been getting a lot of questions of how can I succeed at being a reseller. Reseller is anyone that buys something to sell it for a profit, in my opinion. But on YouTube lately, I've been seeing people, because I'm a video game guy, and I've been seeing people slam resellers. And I brought up to a few of them saying, well, I resell. And they go, no, Gary, you're different. You have a shop. You are totally different. You're trying to make a profit. So I kind of understand it, but I don't. Yes, I do. I own a store, and people bring stuff in for me to give them store credit or to give them cash. Yes, I do usually give more money than my competitor. I have a franchise that's like a mile away, not even a mile away, in the same town. It's just it might be a mile away in the same town. It's a small town, but we have that franchise. So I don't get that reseller thing, because I go to garage sales and I buy, I go to flea markets, I buy, I go to thrift stores, I buy. Anywhere I go, I'm looking for anything I can sell in my store for a profit. But some people have been saying that I'm on a different area because I own a store. If I didn't own a store and I was just doing that at my house, it would be a reseller. So I'm not totally sure. But I don't think resellers are a bad thing, and that's something to get into later anyway. But people are asking me, how did I succeed? And to tell you, I have not succeeded yet. I'm succeeding, but I have not got to the plateau where it's like I don't have any worries in the world. I work my butt off every day to, get things done. I live day to day. I am not rich by any means. Owning a shop, I get that a lot of times. Gary, you can pay me this, you're rich. I wish. But let's talk about the first thing, the most important thing, and that's knowledge. You want to know your product. You want to know how to get your product. You want to know how to sell your product. You want to know the people you're going to be selling your product to. You want to know the people that you're buying the product from. You want knowledge. Knowledge is the most important thing in anything you do. The person with the most knowledge has the most power. Period. Know what you're talking about. Don't act like you know what you're talking about, and do not be afraid to say I don't know and ask how or what or when. If you don't know it, you don't know when, you don't know how to do something, you don't know about a game, the words I don't know is not bad. But the person says I don't know and then drops it is bad. When you don't know something, find out the answer. Once you find out the answer, you got yourself some knowledge, didn't you? So knowledge is probably the most important thing. And the second thing that makes you succeed is going to be a game plan. Now, not just a game plan of, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make $300. Well, how are you going to make $300? How are you going to get there? You need to use your knowledge on the game plan of how you're going to get there. And then you need a game plan if you succeed. What's the next game plan? How are you going to get better? And if you fail, how are you going to fix that failure? You need game plans. And the game plans can be very little. I mean, as simple as, let's say you're a computer repair person and the computer's not working. You're going to use your knowledge to find out what's wrong with the computer. You're going to game plan on how to fix that computer. And then you're going to do number 3. But your game plan has to be there. It has to be there. And you're going to use your knowledge that you have to make your game plan. Number 3 is to execute your game plan. Execute it all the way through. Because if you don't execute it all the way through, you don't know if the failure was because you didn't do something. So you want to execute your plan so you gain more knowledge. Even if you win, even if you succeed, you've got to execute your game plan so you know how you won. So it goes right back into your knowledge for your next game plan and your next execution. That's all it's about. If you're going to take and you're selling widgets on eBay, let's just say widgets on eBay, and you list some widgets at 99-cent auctions, and you're noticing them 99-cent auctions are selling at $3 a piece, and you've got $2 a piece in these widgets, and you've got to ship these widgets out after fees and everything else, you're making 60 cents. But you have another game plan with the same widgets. You do buy it now for $12 with $3 shipping, and you're starting to make $10 profit or $9 profit. Now, your failure gave you knowledge to start putting them at buy it now. The failure gave you knowledge to make a new game plan to execute to win. So failures aren't always something bad. And a lot of people always get discouraged by failure. They quit by failure. But failure is only failure when you quit. You got to use the knowledge. And that's what this is all about. I lose sometimes, but I'll never lose twice on the same thing. Now, to give you an example of one of my losses is a customer that comes in and brings me a lot of good product. A lot of good product. This customer comes in and I stopped testing stuff from this person. And they brought me some PlayStation 3s and I just asked, hey, do they work? And they've never ever ripped me off before. They've never done anything for me to think anything of it. And they said, all of them work, Gary, all of them work. And I'm like, okay, cool beans. And I bought the PlayStation 3s. None of them had controllers. They were just base units. And I was like, oh, and you know, the fat models, a lot of them are opened anyway. So I was like, oh, not a big deal. Well, I'll see. None of them worked. Not one single one. They all were yellow lights. And we'll get into that some other time. Yellow light PlayStation 3s, I don't like them. But I learned something. Just because the customer becomes a friend doesn't mean I have to stop executing my plan of testing the units. I needed to test the units, execute my plan, gain the knowledge so I knew what to offer him. So them 3 things are always there, always. It makes you win. Even a failure is a win because you gain knowledge. So everyone's asking me, what should I sell? What should I do? How should I go about it? Should I start an eBay account? Should I start an Amazon account? And to tell you the truth, I don't know anything about Amazon. I buy on Amazon once in a while, but I don't sell on Amazon. So I cannot give you that knowledge. I don't have it. But I do have knowledge selling on eBay. And there's a lot of people that talk really down about eBay, but I do fairly well. I just had a return the other day. It went smooth as can be. The customer didn't leave me bad feedback, nothing like that. It was easy peasies, done. So I can give you guys knowledge on what I know, but when I don't know something, I'm going to say I don't know. Now I'll help you get the answer, or I'll guide you to the place to get the answer. But the whole thing is knowledge, game plan, execute it. Knowledge, game plan, execute it. When you do that, even a failure turns into knowledge because you knew that you executed your game plan to the fullest and you know what doesn't work. When you don't execute your game plan to the fullest, you'll always doubt, what if I did it that way? Then you turn into 2 failures, 3 failures. Execute it to the fullest, and you're good. So I'm going to do another podcast here in a minute about some other topics, but this one's going up tonight. So tonight, I'll talk to you guys again. For now, I'm out.